Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cody.
And this is Keeping Score Board Game Reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing a game called Till Death Do Us Part from Shadow Capers. FYI, this is a not safe for work game at all, or younger aged people. When it says 16 plus on the box,
it really means it.
It means 16 plus, and it's mainly for adult themes.
And it's all humorous, like it's all funny, but definitely it is adult humor. So that being said, we're going to try to keep it pretty tame in the review, but there is going to be some talk about situations with adults.
So this is a game that I backed on Kickstarter. This is the deluxe edition. It came out when shipping prices started to skyrocket and stuff, so there were a few additional things that I was able to get through the Kickstarter as a result. I backed it because I thought it looked hilarious. The whole point is it's the game of marrying and burying until you're filthy rich. So you can kind of get an idea as to where this game is probably headed. So in the game, you're playing as a person that wants to marry an old rich person, and then you want to kill them off as quickly as you can to inherit their millions. So, like, during this game, I'm going to be Hannah Gregorian, the vampire suck novelist, and she's worth 42 million when I kill her off. But she cannot have down here a miraculous recovery or a care package, which is going to increase her health.
So she's got a higher chance of dying because I can't play those cards against Elizabeth.
Yep. And who do you have?
I have Big Daddy Weston, the big oil tycoon. So he's worth 56 million, and he doesn't have any special abilities or weaknesses, so he's going to be pretty easy.
So these cards are really, really nice.
I don't know if the camera captured it well or not, but there is a foil.
There's foil all over these cards.
Yeah, they're very nice cards.
All of the cards have it. The box has it. Your Last Will and Testament cards all have a metallic sheen.
The only ones that don't have any sort of foil decoration are the cards you're going to play out of your hand.
Yeah, so when you play this game, you start out here at the courthouse, and you have to marry your person. And you do that by either getting a marriage certificate
or playing a wild card.
Or if after 3 turns you have not managed to draw one of these, you are now common law married.
At which case you can start down the path.
So you start out with 8 cards, and you move along your little track here until you're able to get past the honeymoon period, because when you get out of the honeymoon period, a few things change.
You can no longer get prenups played against you. There's other cards that specify they have to be in the honeymoon period for them to work. So you want to get out of that period as quick as you can.
Yep, and until you finally get over here to the cemetery where RIP, your person is going to die, and you're going to collect their millions, hopefully, and then read their last will and testament. Then you come, and you're going to be going to Goldmine Park to pick out a new oldster to be chasing.
If you choose not to get the one that you roll first, you're welcome to move your pawn into the park, and you have a couple of chances to get different people by playing in the park. But that's a longer way to do it, so you will lose out on time you could be using to injure and or get rid of your significant other.
You have to get to 150 million to win the game.
And that's an arbitrary number. They said you can actually change that if you want. You can play to 300 million, you can play to 30, to 100 million, to 50 million, whatever you want to play to. But the typical rules are to a 150 million.
Another thing to point out, there's different types of oldsters that you can get. There's regular oldsters. There are super rich oldsters. And then there's an expansion for
gives you these youngsters,
super rich youngsters.
They're a little harder to kill.
Yeah, they're a little bit harder to kill off. But that is an expansion that you can buy for this game.
Now, the difference between the two is I believe normal oldsters can only get up to like 58 million. And once you break that 60 million barrier, it becomes a super rich oldster. And the cards are clearly defined. You can tell that the green ones are the super rich. You can tell that the gray ones are the youngsters, and the normal brownish cards are the normal old folks.
So when you take a turn here, you have to try to damage your oldster. You want them to die, and you want them to die quickly. So, as an example, some of the things you can have an instant roll damage. This person got South American blow dart, so I get to roll 1. So I'd roll 1 dice
and
move 2. So I'd move my little token 2, and then I'd draw again.
Now, of note, she could also choose to play that with the plan card, like this one, and that would allow her to roll both of the dice.
Yep. So if you were to go,
if I was to go, I'm going to have to play a normal way of attacking, which is the plan, plus one of these inaction cards. The one I'm going to play is a sinister outing. So me and my honey decided we were going to go camping, and I kind of tripped him near the edge of the cliff, and he fell. So we're going to see exactly what happens to him. I'm going to roll both dice for that. And it's more fun when you tell a little story about what you're doing because you just get into the theme, you know? And I did 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to move. You moved mine. You were right here. So I would go 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am no longer in the honeymoon period. Those cards will get discarded.
So then in my turn, if I want to increase my person's net worth, you can play things like this. It's an ATM card where I'm going to gain 4 million because I robbed the neighbors. So I play on myself to add the amount to your oldster's estate.
And then on my next turn, I also have 4 million. It's money in the mattress. So I found out we had some extra money in the mattress. He's now worth 60K or 60 million. Here, do you remember what that dice was for?
So this dice is if somebody gets health back to you. So let's say that Cody played
Miraculous Recovery.
And there's only like 2 of them in the deck. So if he played Miraculous Recovery against me, my person is going to have to completely return to the start space, and I'm going to be in perfect health, which sucks. I can also need to play that sex card.
Oh, yeah.
So if he wanted to come against me, he could try to heal my old person and make them happier by...
So I'm going to play the Have Sex Now card, Anniversary. Recipient takes 1 good health roll. But I'm going to boost that with a fetish, which is voyeurism. And I must play it on a Have Sex Now card, and it adds 2 more spaces to whatever that good health roll is. So then she would roll this 4-sided die for this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But lucky for me,
no,
I have not tonight because we're out of lube, it says.
Oh, no.
So these are pretty tame. The fetish cards get very fetishy. That's what the whole
R.
point
Kelly
of them
wouldn't
are.
be uncomfortable in that deck of fetish cards. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But this basically, it's going to block him from telling my old person to have sex and be happy and thus heal themselves.
Now, you always need to go back up to 8 as you play cards. So that's what I would have a new hand of cards now. So every card you play, you're going to pick up a replacement from that deck.
3, 4. That's one of the harder parts, is remembering to draw up to your 8.
And it's not difficult. It's just something that you're not thinking about as you're telling stories that are slightly naughty around the table with your family.
So now I've just drawn a card that I really like. So Cody's person is worth how much?
Oh, $60 million.
$60 million. I can play a divorce card.
Wait, does that say before or after the...
Nope.
Oh, she can play that at any time.
I can play on an opponent to force a sudden divorce, and so he's only going to receive half of his oldster's current worth, and then his oldster is going to go back to the deck, and he's going to have to go back to the park to pick out a new friend.
Yeah, except for I'm going to play Lawyer Up, which lets me cry my way out of the divorce. So, don't leave me, Big Daddy, don't leave me. Yeah, that kind of thing.
You know, you can also play things like prenups, which obviously if you don't have a Lawyer Up card, and you find yourself on the lawyerless side of a divorce, you're only going to receive a tiny bit of money back from it. So let's say somehow Cody got clear over here to where he's going to kill off his old person. So his old person is going to be flipped over, and we can read his epitaph on the back.
So, there better be a private club where I'm going. They all have something on them, and it's pretty fun.
So when you get to that point, you read a last will and testament, and this may affect you in a good way or in a bad way. Like this one says, your beloved decrees that any value of the estate above 40 million to be donated to the preservation of coal mining. So he wouldn't get anything above 40 million.
So I only get 40 million.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. So you got to add it to the thing.
So, you know, he would get an additional 40 million. So it'd be up at 64.
Which is a pretty good score, you know, it's not bad. But you've got a long way to go.
Yep. And somebody's always going to be gunning for your oldster, you know, whether it's making them have sex, giving them miraculous recoveries. let's see. There's one card called Pick of the Litter where when your oldster dies, you're actually able to pick out whichever one of those you want.
Instead of rolling a die to see which one of the 6, because it starts at 1 and goes to 6.
And I mean, there's lots of really funny cards in here, like the accidents and the things that happen to people. Like, here, there was a gas leak. Oh no, your person's gotten damaged more.
And like I said, embellishing them and telling a story about your date that gets you to that can be very fun. You don't have to. The game doesn't tell you have to do that, but it makes it way more thematic.
And there's multiple tokens of people you can be. There's also a second set of tokens you can buy if you decide you want to be really crazy. Like there's Adult Depends, I think Yarn Bowl, and Teeth, dentures, if I remember right.
Did we do that one?
No, we didn't get those.
Teeth are actually, the dentures are in the normal too.
Oh, there's another set. There's like loose dentures.
Oh yeah, there's a loose denture set. Yeah, we didn't buy those extra tokens, but they do exist and they're pretty funny.
So, I mean, overall, I had been jonesing to play this game. However, we couldn't play it with his 11-year-old son by any means.
Nope.
And so luckily Cody's birthday was this week, and we had a friend come over that would be open to this type of a game to play.
Blaine and their son both played with us, and it was a hoot. We had a blast.
And it was great. It says it takes 45 minutes to 2 hours for between 2 to 6.
It took way closer to the 2 hours than it did the 45 minutes. I think it might have even gone a little over. And I think that right there is the only real sticking point I have with this. There's a couple of things that I'm going to judge it on. It is, as far as it goes, it's a fun idea, but mechanically speaking, it's not terribly difficult. It's like, what do I want to say? It's kind of like playing the game of life, if you all have played that before, where things kind of randomly happen to you on your journey through life. This one just happens to be way naughtier. It's not much more complicated than playing life. The only difference is you've got somebody playing cards against you instead of rolling a random spinner. It's a solid 7 from me. Like, the theme definitely helps it be a 7. If the theme was something that wasn't as funny, I probably would have given it a 6 or a 5.5, because mechanically it's not difficult. But for a fun game to play with some of your adult friends while you have a beer, this is great. It's a 7. It's a good game. For
me, the only down thing to this is that this deck of cards is ginormous.
That is true.
And shuffling these, they're big cards. Shuffling them is a lot of work. And we did go through the entire deck while playing.
Yeah, almost. We went through the deck and a half, I think.
Yeah, to get to the point where somebody would win.
Right.
And that was playing with 4 people. They do sell sleeves for these cards, and they do have sleeves that'll fit these cards as well.
I mean, these cards, it's not so bad because they're going to get a very gentle shuffling when you lay out 6 of them, and that's it.
So me personally, I love the theme.
Mm-hmm.
I am entertained by it. I don't need a game to be super complicated for me to love it, so I'm giving it a 9 because I love this game. When I backed it on Kickstarter, I was super excited. And then when the shipping fees jumped so much that, people were worried about not being able to get them into the country, this was one of the few that I did contribute extra to make sure that I got my game.
This and Flock Together, I think, were the two that we helped with shipping on.
Yeah, I mean, it was right about a year that I got it, maybe a year and a half at the most. But, the box is beautiful. It's got raised sections on it. I love all the sparkly stuff all over the cards. It just makes it feel like you're truly going after a rich oldster at that point.
It's a good time. It got a little long in the tooth, I think. But other than that, it's a good time.
But I loved it. So yeah, a game definitely for your adult friends that enjoy
a
adult
dark,
themes.
Slightly perverted sense of humor.
Yeah. But overall, really fun game from Shadow Capers. Definitely enjoyed it myself. And, it's lots of fun to pretend that you can marry rich and then bury them. So that way you get all the inheritance. So, overall, good game.
Yeah, absolutely. This doesn't make me scared of her at all. Thank you guys very much.